Before the formulation, these formulations, what we have is the classical mechanics. So this classical physics cannot be able to explain most of these things. It has shortcoming. Okay, and please forgive because we are talking about quantum biology, and I keep mentioning physics. The belief scientifically is there is nothing that is expected to exist outside the formulations of physics and mathematics. In the later course, I think I will be able to explain why I'm mentioning this. I will explain it. So the classical physics and chemistry cannot be able to explain the efficiency in photosynthesis. For us to understand photosynthesis, we have to use the formulations of quantum mechanics. The speed of enzyme reaction. There are some certain reactions that do take place within the enzymes that classically are not possible. And then the precision of biological sensing systems. Part of this sensing is the issue of vision. So classically, the classical physics, classical chemistry cannot be able to explain this. So what we have here is the issue of quantum biology that suggests that some of these things are happening as a result of these quantum effects. So this quantum mechanic is what we believe to be the basis, the foundation of chemistry. That all chemical processes are quantum mechanical. Good. You can open it as a presentation, please. It's a slide. Okay. So all chemical processes, without these chemical reactions, there won't be anything in the universe. So all these chemical processes are quantum mechanical in nature. What we mean is they obey the laws of quantum mechanics. Electron orbitals arise as a result of quantum wave functions. What do we mean by this? I believe those that are of science background, we knew that earlier in chemistry what we have is the KLMN electronic orbitals. But later, we now move to SPDF. The reason why we have the SPDF is because we have the spin quantum number, the magnetic quantum number. So they are as a result of quantum mechanical calculation. And what simply happens is someone will look at the Schrodinger equation, will use some things and solve the equation, and will arrive at those things and will start telling you the reason why this is because of this. So we talk about electron orbitals. What we know is the electron is orbiting the nucleus. And classically, since the electron is a charged particle, if it's actually orbiting the nucleus, it should be emitting energy. But we have never observed the electron to be emitting energy. If the electron is actually emitting energy, it is going to collapse into the nucleus. And once it collapses, exhausts all its energy and collapses into the nucleus, the matter will not be in existence, but the matter is here. So classical chemistry and biology cannot be able to explain the electron orbits. Notwithstanding, we even know about the nature of the s orbital. We said is spherical in nature. The p is dumbbell shell. So all these are as a result of some quantum mechanical calculation. And this define where you can be able to place any particular atom within the periodic table. Whether, okay, the group, the period where the atom is, so it's as a result of this. So they respect quantum formulations. And that define how these atoms, the elements, are going to react chemically. Because it is the position of the atom that can tell you precisely that this particular element can be able to react with another element, and that determines the chemical bond. So the chemical bond is also quantum mechanical in nature. Reaction rates are influenced by tunneling. By tunneling, I mean that phenomenon that I talk about. You are here, you don't have sufficient energy to break the walls, but you still be outside. The place is locked. Magically, you will find yourself outside. Not magically, because in science we don't believe in magic. So since biology is built on chemistry, what we are trying to say here is, whatever you want to understand biologically, you cannot do that without chemistry. And we have seen this because by the time you understand everything about the elements, quantum mechanically, which is formulations of physics, that means physics can be able to explain everything about the chemistry known to man. So you can be able to explain chemistry in terms of physics and biology in terms of chemistry. So it follows that everything about biology is also quantum mechanical. Next slide, please. Okay, so what I try to do here is to show you the shape of the SPD, even though the F is not there, but we can start seeing that some of these quantum numbers are there. And these quantum numbers came into being as a result of things like the Pauli, the calculation by Pauli, the Hunds. So they are quantum mechanical calculations. They started from Schrödinger equation, and they have a way of arriving at this to get some information about how these atoms are expected to behave. Next slide, please. So quantum effect has been proposed to demonstrate in photosynthesis. What do I mean quantum phenomenon in photosynthesis? We talk about the existence of a matter in form of wave. Also, we believe that wave can sometimes behave as a particle. What we mean here is the light that is going to be absorbed by the plants is going to be absorbed as a photon. He made mention of a kind of discrete and continuous form elements. And that's the reason why I believe you have heard about the way that eagles do see, shahu. So it's a way that the information in what the birds are seeing are automatically transferred into the eyes, quantum mechanically into the eyes of the bird. We have human sense of smell. I believe I will talk about that in much more detail. And we have the DNA mutation, which is proton tunneling. Next slide, please. I think that's what we're going to see first. So without photosynthesis, because that's the genesis, that's where we obtain all our energy. So this photosynthetic organism convert sunlight. By sunlight, we are talking about wave. Is that correct? But the way that the plants are absorbing this sunlight is absorbing it in packages, in photon, in particle form. So it's telling you that the light is not actually a wave there. It's a photon, which is quantum mechanical in nature. Convert it into chemical energy with 100% efficiency. So the way that this is done cannot be explained on the basis of the classical formulation. It has to be quantum mechanical, and such photosynthesis is quantum mechanical. So since that means the process through which plants do convert the sunlight into useful energy is through the process of quantum mechanics. As such, photosynthesis is quantum mechanics. Next slide, please. There is this issue of enzyme, how they do accelerate, move from one place to another. They do move in. Okay, I made mention of tunneling. This, they don't have enough energy to move, to cross over the barrier. But somehow, you will be able to see them. So, okay, I think I will get to a place where I will have to point. Okay, yeah. So here what we're saying is protons and electrons tunnel through a barrier. So there is this barrier that they don't have enough energy to cross over. Okay, if I can explain it in layman language by saying barrier is like these walls. If someone, a human, is locked here without any facility that he can break the wall, he cannot be able to escape. Is that correct? But they don't have enough energy to cross over, to break the barrier, but you will still see them in the other side. And that enables them, the reaction to occur faster than expected in the normal conventional sense. This is it. Point at the light. I don't see the light there. Light. Ya kamata in haska can ta fita. Ba ta fita. Na sunan karanta ta. Oh to. Ban sani ba sana gani sha. Ni na. Da sadda ka taba na ganta amma zan ganta. Wannan ne kamar. Kuma kamata a ce ta. To ni ne ban danna ta da karfi kenan ko koya akai. Anyway, so since it's somehow crossing at a speed that is faster than the normal speed that we expect, this is as a result of quantum mechanical phenomenon. Look at this double bond after in between hydrogen and the oxygen in the first place. And the one below it, the one that is in between nitrogen and hydrogen. If you see the way these bonds is moving, initially it was in between hydrogen and oxygen. Now it's in between nitrogen and hydrogen in the first place. In the second one, it was in between nitrogen and hydrogen. But in the last one, it's in between hydrogen and nitrogen. It means it has shifted. It crossed over the barrier. So classically, this cannot happen without quantum mechanical tunneling. And the quantum mechanical tunneling, so it's quantum in nature. I think I explained the issue of the way that these beds do see. They are up there, but because they are somehow quantum mechanically entangled, they can be able to see whatever they want to see faster than the way that we expect them to see. We have this issue of smell, the way that our nose can smell something. We have structures that are exactly the same. Example is like deuterium sulfide. Deuterium is heavy hydrogen, which contain H2. But simply because deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen, the smell of deuterium sulfide is entirely different from the smell of hydrogen sulfide. Exactly the same chemical, but different smell. So the traditional lock and key that we have in classical mechanics cannot be able to explain how we smell objects. We have to use, I think I wrote it somewhere. Okay, we have to use quantum theory of olfaction to suggest how we can be able to detect odor of the same compound as a result of the difference in their molecular vibration. So what happened here is our nose is acting as a quantum sensor. If your nose can act as a quantum sensor, it means you're quantum mechanical in nature and quantum and still we are all biological system. So what we mean here is this quantum mechanic is in plants, it's in human, it is in birds, so it's in all biological system. So here I said quantum biology may revolutionize drug design. I use the word may because quite a time in scientific term we don't use definite. We will not say that it will. It may. But this issue of drug design is already in existence. There is a way that people use traditional quantum mechanical calculation to design new drugs. For example, people use computer simulation, either in Monte Carlo or density functional theory, DFT, to design new drugs. Drugs that are likely to be more effective to a particular trait of disease. And it's already in existence. People are doing it. This issue of cancer treatment, okay. So not only the drug design, also drug absorption. So these are also being used to improve how certain drug can be absorbed by certain, maybe certain organ or certain parts of the body. We talk about neuroscience. He was already talking about genome, genetics, bio-inspired quantum computing, artificial photosynthesis, and energy system. So understanding quantum life process can lead to more precise and efficient technology. The more you bring in quantum phenomenon into whatever you're doing, the more precise, the more... Okay, I think let me explain this. Even though people talk about this, but the truth is, the most accurate and precise theory formulated by science is quantum mechanics. Is the most accurate, the most precise. Even though it still has some shortcomings, because there are some things that cannot be explained quantum mechanically. So we believe the term is wrong and there is room for more. So there is this critics. People are arguing that biological systems are too noisy, too warm for quantum effects. But the truth is, people are outside there making living, studying biological system quantum mechanically. As I'm speaking with you, I have a colleague elsewhere that is making money out of this system. Quantum coherence are decaying too fast. And experiments show that this effect can persist longer than expected. What normally happens is, whatever you do in quantum mechanics is theoretical physics. So normally what people do is they will sit down, formulate beautiful, consistent mathematical calculation and say that, look, this is expected to behave this way. But normally what happens after that is people will go to the laboratory, demonstrate or confirm that, look, what these people are saying is true. So after all this observation is experiments. Experimentalists have shown that this is also true. Life may evolve mechanisms to protect and exploit these effects. Because whatever you want to understand, for as long as you want to have detailed and more accurate explanation, whatever we see, you have to use quantum mechanics. So future progress may depend on advanced spectroscopic techniques. Even the spectroscopy, we have the one that we do through functional theory, which is quantum mechanical calculation. So the more advanced we are in spectroscopy, which we can do experimentally and theoretically, the more we may progress on the issue of this understanding of quantum theory of life. Then quantum computing simulation. As I made mention earlier, like this issue of drug design and absorption is quantum mechanical phenomenon that's already in existence. It's a simulation. Someone will simply use his computer to simulate how these are expected to be. And they will use it to design a drug and expect how the drug is expected to be absorbed in human body or in living organisms. There is need for interdisciplinary collaboration between physics, chemistry, biologists. Okay. Normally, when you go elsewhere, except, and these are some of the things that we need to change traditionally. There is no research that is purely mathematics, purely chemistry, purely, so it's a kind of interdisciplinary. You will see how someone from geography is likely to come into your experiment or your research when you're doing your research. So there is need for you to collaborate. Allow more people to come in so that you can be able to see things from their own perspective. Quantum biology may redefine our understanding of life itself entirely, because what we believe in our present understanding of life is somehow vague, is not very clear. So the more we understand this quantum mechanic, the more likely we are going to understand issue about life. So we may be able to do things that in next near future we may be able to do things that today we don't believe are possible quantum mechanically. So quantum biology bridge physics, chemistry, and biology. It revealed that life may operate at the age of quantum in classical world. So the life is actually existing. So what we're trying to say is, the answer we have answered now is, since these systems are quantum mechanical, the first question I've started in our slide, can life exist without quantum mechanics, I believe has been answered. It provides deeper insight into the efficiency, adaptability, and complexity of living system. It's really too complex. But the more we do this, the more likely that we'll be able to understand it better. Thank you for listening. Even though, will there be a kind of patience?
Thank you very much, Prof. You have delivered wonderfully. Yeah. So, please, for the sake of us that are just at the basic level of this quantum mechanics or quantum physics, please, can you give us, you spoke about the application of this quantum mechanics in science, but kind of more advanced way. Can you make it simpler to give us some other application of the concept? The application of the concept, because I believe there are a lot of people who are into computer programming, and one of the things that you talk about is the simulation. So I think it would be very good to talk about, some kind of those applications, so that it will not be only a learning part for us, but it could be something that we know we will be making money. I like to talk about money.
Well, I have to admit, the question is somehow difficult for me to answer, because trying to explain this stuff, the only thing I can do is, for example, the issue of photosynthesis that we talk about. I believe we all know photosynthesis. Our traditional understanding is that light is a wave. So we try to understand this light is being absorbed by the plant in form of wave. But in actual sense, the light is absorbed in packages, in photon. And the speed with which, so by the time I start talking about speed, is like I moved to a kind of something beyond, is more a kind of more technical, more understand. So the absorption is, I simply don't know how to answer but one thing is very clear. Most of these things are as a result of some calculation. And yeah, please refresh the question so that maybe I will.
Okay. What I mean in simpler terms, now that we understand the concept of the quantum mechanics, how can we apply the knowledge? How can we apply it? How can we use it to, for our daily life, or maybe for as a source of income or something like? How can we just apply this knowledge?
Okay, I think we're still where we are. The reason why I said this is because, let me narrate something. When I finished my master's in theoretical physics, I met someone. He's an experimentalist, and we were discussing. I told him that, look, I'm a theoretician, and I'm working on quantum mechanics. The guy was a PhD in physics, and he told me that, look, these things that you're doing have no practical application. When I have seen the application, so it is not peculiar to, and that's the reason why people, even the physicists do talk about this, nobody understands. So the truth is, well, it's as a result of some calculations. Some of these calculations are a bit simple, Well, some are somehow, but it is through these calculations that we can apply them. But I still have to say this. Scientifically, irrespective of the area where you are, once you come up with experiment, you do a new experiment, there must be theoretical backing, the calculation to substantiate that this what you're seeing is true, for people's scientific committee to accept what you have. So I actually don't know how to explain this quantum stuff in such a way that people that are not actually into the area can understand it. But the only thing I can say is it's a simple mathematical calculation that everyone can do. Yeah, once you put your mind into it, it's a mathematical calculation, and I believe math is easy for each and every one of us because everything is in us is mathematics. Thank you.
I think I can just answer this question in a simple term based on what you said, sir. So the answer to this question is how can we apply this knowledge of quantum biology to earn money? I think the first thing is you have to master it, be good at it, and then you join the relevant communities. And the next thing is you find the relevant bodies. Bodies. Yes.
Yes, he answered the patient.
Yeah, and in addition, you can also look at things. You know, for example, you can say, okay, this has to do with waves, light. Can I see how can I improve lens? Maybe lens. You know, these are the kind of thinking that you can, you should have. That now I understand this kind of concept, and I can see that I can apply it in various ways. Let me look at something to see where I can apply this and explore. That there is tendency that I'm going to be a Nobel Prize, as he mentioned. Yeah.
Actually, I like the way that he answered the question. And one of the things that we say, even to our students, these things that we do in science is like someone who is trying to be a good swimmer. You be a good swimmer by practicing. So you have to challenge the norm. You have to open the box. You have to ask the experts. Try to understand. Don't try and simply run away. By the time you hear people talking about, look, these people are saying that you can be dead and alive at the same time, and yeah, these people are, no. These people are crazy, and you try, no. You just have to come into it. No matter, you will hear quite a lot of things that are not in accordance with common human perception when you want to venture into quantum mechanics. But please, do not panic. Take it as a challenge. When someone says that maybe quantum mechanics may be able to bring back the dead, just open the book, see how that would be possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof, for this wonderful presentation. And I believe everyone understands by now what quantum biology is, its mechanics, and how it applies into a real-world application. So at this very point, I would like to let you know that we believe in quantum biology in Nigeria. Innovation is global and borderless, right? So we are moving on to the next line of our action, which is a live Zoom session with the Quantum Biology DAO team. They are going to join us live on Zoom, and they are going to tell us what quantum biology is. Quantum Biology DAO is what they do at the organizations and how they are going to assist us with funding in order to achieve what we are doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, before that, I would love to acknowledge the presence of Madam Faisal Modi Kurfi, who happens to be the Secretary General, Readers Hub Community Katna. He's here with us. Please, sir, you're highly welcome to the stage, to the high table. And at the same time, we have Mustafa Idris Umar, who is also a Web3 advocate and also educator. You're also highly to the high table. So now, moving on to next, can we have them? Can we have them? Okay. So now let me just briefly introduce the speakers before they. we are going to have two speakers from the Quantum Biology Institute. Number one from the speakers is Dr. Alessandro Ledeseng, and also we have Dr. Give Anders, and at the same time we have Kyra Gardner. Please give us the... That's interesting. We have two of our speakers here with us. We have Dr. Give Anders and also we have Kyra Gardner. So briefly, I will introduce Dr. Give Anders. Dr. Give Anders is the co-founder of Quantum Biology DAO and the Quantum Biology ecosystem. He is also the founder of Leverage, which is an independent research institute that advances fields at the cutting edge of revolutionary science like quantum biology. Dr. Give holds a PhD in philosophy from Rutgers University and a BS in economics from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. You are highly welcome, sir. And also, second speaker is Kyra Gardner. Kyra Gardner is the communication working group leader for the Quantum Biology DAO, where she manages communication and social media. She is a co-founder of Smarter with Science, a company she co-founded that brings resources, mentorship, and storytelling to support underrepresented scientists and projects. You are highly welcome, and please say hello to them. Can you all hear me? Can they hear us? Take care. It looks like she's talking. Kyra, can you unmute yourself? Kyra. Okay, so.
Let us know in the chat when it's ready to go.
Okay, yeah, that's.
We can just go and get started with the presentation while you guys figure out the technical stuff, just because we have to hop off in 15 minutes or so.
Okay, but Kira, you can. They have confirmed that people can hear us. People can.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us too?
I'm waiting for one more confirmation.
All right.
We can see and hear you, but we are working on it, so you can see us now. Cryptoners, can we go ahead and get started with the presentation?
Okay, now let's get into the matter of the day. Who is going to be the first presenter from your own
We
end?
cannot hear you.
Kyra, are you the one? Wala, basa jina po. Okay. Kyra?
Hello, Kara, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay.
So you can start your presentation.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's get started. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Anders. This is Kyra Gardner. We're here from the Quantum Biology DAO, which is helping to make this event possible. It's great. I tuned in on the live stream and saw that it was great to see so many people coming together to talk about quantum biology. And also, I'm just say a bit about myself. Kyra will introduce herself, and then we'll tell you about the Quantum Biology DAO, which is an organization, which is the organization that we represent. So I'm co-founder of Quantum Biology DAO, with background in philosophy. Have been interested in advancing the actual frontier of science for a really long time, and have had the opportunity to do that both through the Quantum Biology DAO and through an independent organization I founded called Leverage, where we basically look for what are the new fields that are going to advance science the most and help to advance them, and that's how I got into quantum biology and how I came to recognize that this is part of the future.
And I'm Kira Gardner. I'm calling from Los Angeles. As Jeff mentioned, I work on communications across the DAO community. I primarily run our social media, but also help lead the communications working group, which I'll talk about later. And it has connected me to so many great people, such as the organizers of this event. And unlike a lot of the people that I work with, I'm not a scientist, so I am living proof that you don't need to be super technically gifted to get involved with science. My background is in marketing, project management, and my role here is primarily to connect people to science and make it more understandable and accessible.
All right, so why are we here? The reason we're here is that as many of you will know, there is a crisis in science today. The scientific funding for many years has been conducted through a small number of centralized granting organizations. And the idea of science is, in some people's minds, tied to the idea of centralization. But we think that that's not how science actually works. Science, by its nature, is decentralized. It's been decentralized from the beginning. And if we're going to make it through the current crisis in science, that means we need to decentralize science again. What is decentralizing science? That means that we need more groups, more fields, different collections of scientists, and we also need new funding mechanisms. The DAO is meant to be all of these things, where we'll get to that, I guess. So the Quantum Biology DAO is part of a movement called Decentralized Science, or DeSci. You had on one hand a bunch of people who were really passionate about science and a bunch who were passionate about using digital tools to help bring people together and to organize people, especially including Web3 and the blockchain. And so one might not expect science and crypto to end up talking to each other or being in a, but that's what decentralized science is. It is an alliance between crypto on one hand and science on the other hand, with the goal of decentralizing things. One of the things that characterizes decentralized science is DAOs. This is DAO. It stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. This is an organization. We'll talk about how the Quantum Biology DAO works, but in general, what DAOs do is they use blockchain technology. So we have a token that we use for voting. We'll talk about this, but it makes it so that we can organize coming together and making decisions together.
Exactly. And I know this might sound like some very strange idea, but it's already happening in practice. We're just the Quantum Biology DAO, but there are other active DAO ecosystems that are conducting real scientific research. These are just a few examples. You have longevity research, women's health, even hair growth that are running granting systems outside of those traditional structures.
So the Quantum Biology DAO, of course, is focused on quantum biology in particular. You just heard about this emerging field. The simple tagline is that we believe that biology runs on quantum, and that from quantum physics, there's going to be a revolution that changes how we think about biology. The DAO is meant to help to organize the people and the energy and the resources that's going to help make that happen. So we are building a global community, both for the purpose of teaching people about quantum biology, but also organizing scientists. We've talked about putting together a journal. The field of quantum biology needs its own journal. And then there's also a matter of funding, both funding events and funding research, that we can push this emerging field forward.
Totally. And along those same lines, we're practicing something called progressive decentralization. Decentralization, the sound of it, you just disperse the power. Our kind of take on it is that it happens gradually. So you start with a few people that are in charge, but then you gradually start to give that power away to more people. Case in point, like CryptoNurse hosting this event.
Yeah, so the way that the DAO has a 3-stage governing process, and this is something that really anyone can be involved in. Like, this is just, it's, before we got this started, Kira hadn't heard about a bunch of these things, and CryptoNurse hadn't heard of a bunch of these things, and all, like, Timmy Graham and all the other organizers, Royalty, what happens is people heard about quantum biology and they came to our Discords. It's quantumbiology.community, takes you there. But then there's a stage where we discuss proposals, and then a stage where the community votes on it. And if a proposal makes it through both of those stages, then we go to the final stage where the people who hold the QBio token, this is a token that runs on the blockchain, it's tradable, you can buy it on Uniswap. People who hold this token vote, and it's 1 token per vote. That determines ultimately what the DAO does. And so this is actually a synthesis of science on one side and crypto and blockchain technology on the other side. Now, the thing I just said is complex. We talk about it all the time. If this interests you, if you think that this is the right direction to go, we warmly invite you to come join our community, and you'll get to hear all about it. So in terms of, that's more process, but in terms of what we've done, right now the Quantum Biology DAO is the largest dedicated funder in the field of quantum biology. At the end of 2024, we raised $6.8 million for quantum biology. We funded the Quantum Biology Institute, which is working on building a microscope that will allow us to probe quantum states inside cells at room temperature. And we have also, and Kira will say something about the community and infrastructure that we've been putting together.
Yeah, I'll touch on this later as well, but we have working groups, we've grown our Discord, our social media. If you're in our Discord, you know that it's a very flavorful bunch of people. We hold contests, have a bi-weekly trivia contest, weekly community meetings, which kind of serve as a town hall for the DAO, and you can come and discuss proposals if you have ideas for an event or a new initiative, and really just a place for everybody to update and, just work as a group to set priorities.
And so I talked about what the DAO has already done, but there are tons of things we have not yet done, and we're at the beginning of a new year. We're working on setting priorities. There are just so many different things that we can do that the field needs. From my perspective, I care a ton about advancing the frontier of knowledge. One of the things we're focusing on, and which Alessandro Lodesani, who's another of the DAO co-founders, will talk about later, is the effect of weak magnetic fields in biology. It has been known for a very long time that there are effects from very weak magnetic fields in biology, including from magnetic fields like that generated by the Earth. But people really don't, if you look at the literature, they really don't understand what's causing these effects. There's a whole bunch of different hypotheses. Nothing exactly seems to fit. We think that quantum physics maybe it's the whole puzzle, at least it's a very big piece of the puzzle. And so that's, in terms of what we're going to be focusing on, we've talked about events, we've talked about organizing decentralized science on a larger scale. We even had a group show up that was interested in building a quantum biology statue. There's tons of things that we're going to end up doing, and we would love more people to be involved. Anyone who's interested in taking it's quantum physics is this resource, and it's going to burst through into the field of biology. Do you need to know every detail of quantum physics? No, do you need to be interested in learning? Well, that's really a big plus. But there are tons of different ways that people can participate. We've got you can join the Discord. We've got, you can participate in governance. We have weekly meetings. There's fun things the DAO does. And ultimately, the point of this is to help advance what we think is actually the cutting edge of, or one of the crucial cutting edges inside biology. Yeah, so just last thought on why all of this matters. Biology is really complex and it's really complicated, and we don't understand it super well yet. Part of the reason it just has to be that we haven't taken account of the quantum effects in biology. Like, everything in the world runs on quantum. It just seems like then biology is going to be affected by quantum. And I mentioned weak magnetic fields. This is just the beginning. There are other quantum biological effects, like effects of light and effects inside mitochondria. There are just a bunch of different effects. And if we manage to figure out how those work, if we can organize the scientists, if we can fund the relevant projects, then science gives birth to new technology. And the future of technology here, you can imagine a revolution in biomanufacturing where we're using quantum knowledge to grow cells in new ways. You can imagine a revolution in how health is done. You can imagine we actually understand better how to actuate on or to affect our own biology, extend life, make people healthier. This is, and then the specifics, well, we're right at the beginning. And we would love if all of you came and helped us to build the future where we understand exactly what the future powered by quantum biology actually will be.
Thank you.
As we like to say, may the quantum be with you.
May the quantum be with you all.
So we're gonna, I think we have a few minutes for questions. I have to catch a flight, so you can join us on our Discord, and Kira will be here also to help answer questions. But thank you, everybody. It was really great having the opportunity to meet all of you and talk at this event.
All right, bye, Jeff. Have a good flight. As Jeff just mentioned, we have to hop off right now because of other stuff going on. But it was so nice connecting with everybody. I can't believe I'm talking to like a whole other continent right now. That's amazing. If you have any questions, because I know this was a little bit speedy, please join our Discord community. It's just quantumbiology.community. The organizers of this event also have our contact information if they want to liaise anything. But that's it for us. Is there any other thing you need from us? Or is that all good?
Kara, can we have a 5-minute questions and answers?
Hi, royalty.
Kara, can we have 5-minute question and answers from the participant? Can we entertain a question from the participant? Kara, can you hear?
Hi, Kira.
Hi. Are we good? Am I good to hop off, or is there any other thing?
Yeah, it's good for us.
Sorry.
It's good for us.
You good?
Yeah.
Can we have?
Thank you for all the presentation. And there is some audience that they need to ask some question about what you present so far. But I see that Jeff has just left the call, but I will let you handle the question now.
Okay, that works. And then if they have questions for Jeff that I can't answer, like I said, please connect us to them so we can answer their questions directly.
Okay. Yeah.
Kyra, can you hear me? Kyra.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have one question from the attendants.
Thank you, Kira, for this presentation. It was really wonderful, and we appreciate what you have delivered. And from your presentation, I understand that as part of many things that you do, you also support, you also give support in terms of establishing research community. So I was wondering if there is a way that we can have a funding partnership in establishing such kind of research community here in Katsina.
Yeah, so I think I understood your question. It like cut in and out briefly. The entire purpose of the Quantum Biology DAO is to connect with researchers in any capacity that could be kind of related to Quantum Biology DAO. So I would highly recommend joining our community calls and coming with what you're interested in talking about. I kind of skimmed over it as well, but the Quantum Biology DAO has different working groups. I see other people in the Zoom are actually part of the communications working group, but there's also a science working group where all they do is review proposals, talk about the deep science, and then the communication working group, and our whole kind of plan moving forward as well is to create different education hubs, not only in the US, but around the world.
Okay, thank you very much. Best part for us is to get in contact with you through the Discord.
I'm so sorry. Could you say that again?
The best way to get in contact with you is through the Discord, right? So okay, we'll do that.
100%. And I can also give my personal Discord or WhatsApp or whatever communication medium is best for you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Kara, for your time. And I think at this moment we come to the end of this live session. Thank you very much for your time and also for having us with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have honestly been trying to see how we can make this program in line with our agendas. And so part of our next line of agenda is creative refreshment session, which is going to be a poetry session, just 5 minutes or less, poetry session, which is going to be performed by Abdulaziz Tukur, which he is a lifelong learner. And also the title of the poem is Where Passion Leads, Power Follows. Before he comes to the stage, I would love to acknowledge the presence of Madam Huzaifa Musa, who just came in right now. He's the founder and CEO of Curricular Innovation Hub, and he has been supporting the tech ecosystem in Kaduna State. Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate him, please. Sir, you are highly welcome. Abdulaziz, please come to the stage for your poem performance.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. One of my favorite quotes is from Ibn al-Qayyim. He said, "The heart on its journey to Allah is like a bird. Fear and hope are its two wings." Ladies and gentlemen, balance your wings. Too much fear will crush you, and too much hope will blind you. But together, with love leading the way, you will achieve great things in life. Abdulaziz Tukur is my name. And that's why today I'm going to present a poem titled Where Passion Leads, Power Follows. And here it goes. When you don't have passion for your action, that could lead to depression. when you lack motivation for your intention that could lead to its incompletion. You may feel connected where everybody feels segregated or separated. You may feel energetic where others feel lethargic or tragic. They said sit down, you stood taller. They said be quiet, you roll louder. They said stay small, you dim wider. Because creativity is rebellion with purpose. A bomb that explodes in beauty, not blood. When you sit down to consider, you come down to ponder with respect to all gender while maintaining the agenda. All they are worried about is your luxurious Honda. This is all because of your passion, plus your imagined and inspired vision, coupled with prompt action to move towards your planned destination. It is the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this with no apology, no hesitation, no filter. This is not the era of the lazy. This is not the era of the fearless. It is the era of the fearless. And I'm not here to comport you, I'm here to call you out. Because right now inside you is a volcano sleeping, a book unwritten, a song unsung, a business unlived, a change unborn. And it is not time to sleep on your potential, it's time to wake up like thunder. So write like the word depends on it, speak like your voice is oxygen, create like the world is waiting for a truth. Let the word say, who is this? And let your life reply, I am the fire you tried to ignore. I am the storm you thought will pass. I am the one who showed up and changed everything. And when they ask you who you are, don't just say your name. Say, I am the desert, the silence breaker, the light in dust, the Katsina crusader. Because the world is not waiting for perfection. It's waiting for passion, for purpose, for power. And that power, my friend, is you. With a silent departure as a crusader. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdulaziz, for this powerful refreshment. I believe everyone now is refreshed. So we are going to set the stage for our next line of action, which is a panel discussion. Please just give us some few minutes. Thank you. And I'm going to introduce, or I should say, I should call the moderator of this session, She is no one but Ayman Salis Muhammad to invite the speakers on the stage. So please come and take the stage from me and continue with the next line of action. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate her and welcome her to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good day to you all. As you all know, my name is Ayman Salis Muhammad. I'm here as a moderator of this panel. Our topic is navigating emerging technologies, career pathways and opportunities for youth and students. So I would like to call our panelists, Mr. Huzaifa Musa, who is the co-founder and CEO of Career Innovation Hub. And the next person is Dr. Yunus Yusha'u. Who is the okay. Sorry. And the next person is Abdurazak Yau. So, Mr. Huzaifa, our first question goes to you. What do we mean by emerging technologies today, and in which way one should youth and students pay the most attention to?
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity. This is a very wonderful question, and I think a lot of us are not clear on the emerging technologies and how we should actually leverage those technologies. Well, emerging technologies are simply the new technologies or frontier technologies that we are yet to meet their potentials, you know. Of course, we are doing something about them, but the potentials are higher in the future. For example, let's say artificial intelligence and blockchain technology, for example. You know, where we are still using artificial intelligence and blockchain technology, but the potentials in the future are higher than what we are currently using them for. So these are some of the emerging technologies that we have now, and our people are doing something around them. But in future, there are a lot of things that we can do better than what we are currently doing now. So these are the emerging technologies. And what is the second question, please? What is the part B of the question? Okay. Actually, youth should pay attention to the emerging technologies, but there are technical ones, and there are non-technical ones, or low technical ones. For example, we have artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is the technical part of the artificial intelligence. We also have artificial AI, what is it called? Generative AI, right? Like prompt engineering. The ability to use artificial intelligence tools to do some things without using coding or any technical programming. For example, using ChatGPT, for example, using Meta AI, using other generative AI to create videos, to generate images and things like that. This is non-technical, and it's something that not only youth, even the older ones should be used to and should learn. Then technical ones are things like the artificial intelligence and machine learning, whereby you'll be technical on that. You'll know how to build your models, how to use these models to solve problems that we are currently having in our society. And for example, if you take blockchain technology, for example, it's one of the technical ones that we need to use, because, for example, we are talking about the issues of the election problems. Like, whenever we have election, people will come out and say, this is not right. This is what is the word? This is rigged. But if to say we can, employ the use of blockchain technology, you won't have issue of election rigging, because it's not something that you can just manipulate and change the results or something like that. So these are the future. One of the things that we do in future to utilize the frontier or emerging technologies to solve our current problem. So I think these are some of the things that our youth